from here, we'll move to something extremely interesting. Okay, this is where coordinate geometry actually starts forming. So like we were just touching base and understanding, right? But so till this point is it. But from here, yes. So here coordinate geometry starts getting interesting because here what we have as equations of line. So whenever you're given a line, right? We saw those two lines. So how do you form an equation of a line? How do you form an equation of a line? So first way to form an equation of a line is very interesting. It is slope-intercept form. What is slope-intercept form? Let's say you have a line like this. Okay, this is your line L. How do you form its equation? Its equation is y is equal to mx plus c, where x and y. So x and y will have to be found out. X and y are variables. We'll keep it like that. M will be your slope. Slope is given. C is the y-intercept. What is intercept? Intercept is this value. The value at which this line cuts y-axis. The value at which this line cuts y-axis is your y-intercept C. So you should know the value of M, you should know the value of C. You put those two values and you get the formula for your this thing. And that is y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, fair? This is the first formula. What is second formula? Second formula is as per slope point form. What is slope point form? Slope is given to you and a point is given to you. You know M is your slope. You know x1 comma y1 is the point through which the line is passing. Right? Like this is some point. We know that this point is passing through the line, like line is passing through point and there's a slope. Here the formula is y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. Right? You register this formula. So when you register this formula, does it seem like, oh, this is something new, a new formula that I have to remember? Or does it something like something you've just seen? It should look like something that you have just seen. Why? Why? Because we just saw what the formula of slope is. What was the formula of slope? The formula of slope was y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, right? Right? Now x and y is some random point on the line, right? That point we don't know, and that is why we are finding the equation of the line. So any point, any x and y that satisfy that equation will end up being on the line, right? Any combination of x comma y that satisfy the equation that we are finding will be a point that lies on that line. So one of those points we are taking x comma y, which we do not know, right? So let's say for this here, one point is x comma y. What is another point? Another point is this point. What is this point? This point is where x is 0 and y is c, right? So other point is 0 comma c. What is the formula of slope? y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Simplify it. Simplify it. Does it become y is equal to mx plus c? It does. So is it some new formula that we learned? No. It is literally something that we just solved, right? So this is where the slope-intercept form comes from, right? Similarly here also. Here also we know y, x comma y is a random point and x1 comma y1 is a point on the line. So m is equal to y minus y1 upon x minus x1, which is again a slope formula. So all of these are at the end slope formulas that are, changed in different format. Okay? But this is what you stick to. So if you're given slope and y-intercept, you say it is equal to y is equal to mx plus c. If it is slope and a point, it is y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. Fair? These two formulae you've written. Now next we have two more formulae. This is 2-point form and intercept form. What does it mean? Two more ways of writing. 2-point form means we know that on our x comma y plane, this is passing through 2 points, x1 y1, x2 y2. We don't know the slope here. We don't know the intercept. We don't know anything. We just know that it is passing through 2 points, x1 comma x2 y. So iska kya hoga? Again, same, using slope only it is found out, but this is how it is going to be. It is going to be y minus y1 upon y1 minus y2 is equal to x minus x1 upon x1 minus x2. This formula also we get deriving from the slope only. Why? Because we know that the slope is equal to y1 minus y2 upon x1 minus x2. It is also equal to some random point y which is lying on it, y minus y1 upon x minus x1. Right? And then you just like crisscross it and you get this. So this is where when you know 2 points on the line, you use this formula. Y minus y1 upon y1 minus y2 minus y1 is is equal to x minus x1 upon x1 minus x2. Okay. Then we have an intercept form. What is intercepts form? Let's say they have given a line जिसका हमें पता है कि where it cuts x-axis, where it cuts y-axis. We know x-intercept as well as y-intercept. So here the formula is x by a plus y by b is equal to 1. Where a is your x-intercept, the point where the line is cutting x-axis, and b is the y-intercept, the point where. Okay, fair? Understood? So these are 4 equations of line that we are going to use. And the 5th equation is the god of all equations, and that is a general form. This general form is basically a linear equation because line is represented by linear equation. We saw it in functions also. So the format is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. This is the general form of the line. From here you can get slope also. How? By converting into y is equal to mx plus c. How do you convert? This becomes y is equal to minus ax minus c by b, right? So what is the slope? The slope of this line is minus a by b. What is the y-intercept? Y-intercept is minus c by b, right? So you ended up finding slope, you ended up finding line by converting it into the form y is equal to mx plus c. So this is the general form of any line. Ax plus by plus c equals to 0. Fair? Fair? है ना? हमको अगर इसका we have to find x-intercept, y-intercept. We can also convert it into, we can convert it into all the forms that we just learned, right? Right? Let's say we divide all of this by c, so this becomes x by c by a plus y by c by b is equal to minus 1. But we need plus 1 here. We need plus 1. So we will make everything minus, minus, plus. So you got your x-intercept and y-intercept. See, this is matching. So here we can convert this in any format that we want and find whatever they've asked. But the general form of equation is like this. Fair? Give me thumbs up if you have understood, if you're all together till here. Yes, yes, yes. Thumbs ups. Very good. Very good. All right. So from here we move next. Let us solve these questions fatapat. Be quick and solve these questions. Find the equation of the line that is intercepting x-axis at 0, 3. मतलब c की value है 3, है ना? 0, 3 मतलब c की value is 3 and m की value slope is given as 2. What is the equation of this line? Y is equal to mx plus c. Right? Right? This is the equation. How will you find? Let's say x is equal to 1. Then y is what? Y is 5. When x is equal to 2, I am putting these values in the equation. When I get x is equal to 2, what to get a y? Y is 7. When I will get x is equal to minus 1, what will be my y? Y will be 1. And will I be able to plot this point clearly by plotting this x comma y? Right? X comma y plot करके x is 1, y is 5, x is 2, y is 7, and x is minus 1, y is minus 1. So this is how the point. Sorry. I'll try my best. ऐसी कुछ ये line बन रही है, y is equal to mx plus c. It is intercepting at 0, 3 and it has slope of 2. Okay. This is how we find the equation of this line. Y is equal to 2x plus 3 is the equation using slope-intercept form. Now, take the other form. Find the equation of the line passing through 2, 3 with slope 4. So this is point and a slope given to you. This is slope point form. Slope point form के हिसाब से क्या होगा? As for slope point form, y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. कुछ नहीं समझाना तो सीधे सीधे ये वाला फॉर्मूला लगा लिया करो भाई कि m is equal to y minus y x minus x वाला फॉर्मूला ना, स्लोप का फॉर्मूला डाल दिया करो. So if we have to use it now, this becomes y minus 3 is equal to m into m is 4 na, 4 into x minus 2. Now simplify this. Y minus 3 is equal to 4x minus 8. So y is equal to 4x minus 5. ये भी आ रहा है. इस फॉर्मेट में लिखो या इस फॉर्मेट में लिखो 4x minus y minus 5 is equal to 0. जनरल फॉर्म में लिखो, किसी भी फॉर्म में लिख सकते हो एक ही बार. Right? Fair? All of these are like intertwined. Find the equation of a line passing through 0, 2 and 3, 0. So this is This is either you can take 2-point form. As per 2-point form, what is the formula? Formula is y minus y1 upon y1 minus y2 is equal to x minus x1 upon y minus, देखो हाँ मैं पहले नोट कर लूँ, y, अरे मैंने ही मूव अप कर दिया यहाँ पे. 2-point form, it is y minus y1 upon y1 minus y2 is equal to x minus x1 upon x1 minus x2. Okay. How do we know which formula to use? Basis the data, no? Have they given slope here? No. They have given 2 points, so use a 2-point formula. What is this question? You're finding basis the data that you are given, right? There are four formulae that you are aware about. One is slope-intercept form, when the slope is given and intercept given. Slope point form, when the slope and point is given. 2-point form, when 2 points are given. Intercept form, when x and y intercepts are given. Accordingly, you use, and all the formula are at the end slope formulas only. So this is 2 points. They have given you 2 points, right? So use the 2-point formula, right? So 2-point formula के हिसाब से this becomes y minus 2 by 2 is equal to minus x by 3. अब इसको simplify करके लिखो, ऐसे ही लिखो, तुम्हारी मर्जी है, you know? 3y minus 6 equals to minus 2x. So 2x plus 3y minus 6 equals to 0. ऐसे है. 2-point form. Or we could use intercept form here. Why? Because the points are given in form of intercept. 0, 2 का क्या मतलब होता है? 0, 2 मतलब y intercept is 2. 3, 0 का क्या मतलब होता है? X intercept is 3. Right? ये intercepts हो गए ना, तो that's why you can write x by a plus y by b is equal to 1. So this also becomes simplified. 2x plus 3y is equal to 6. Same equations you are getting. Any format you use. Right? So either you use the intercept form here because you realize कि 0, 0 वाले points दिए गए हैं, या you use 2-point form. This is the data. Okay, fair. Now what is the next thing is find the equation of the line passing to these 2 points. So clearly यहाँ पे 2-point form use करना पड़ेगा. Find करो. Give me the equation on chart. How do we do? अगर तुमको कंफ्यूज होता है ना तो x1 y1 x2 y2 लिख लिया करो. x1 कितना है 1, y1 कितना है 2, x2 कितना है 3, y2 कितना है 8. Just write it just in case, you know, exam pressure, time pressure, जल्दी करने के चक्कर में हमारे से गलती ना हो जाए. y minus y1 upon y1 minus y2 is equal to x minus x1 upon x1 minus x2. So this becomes y minus 2 by minus 6 is equal to x minus 1 by minus 2. So I'll just make this 3, right? So then this becomes y minus 2 by 3 is equal to x minus 1. So if I solve it ahead, it becomes 3x minus 3 is equal to y minus 2. So 3x minus y minus 1 equals to 0. मैंने सिंप्लीफाई कर दिया, तो किसी भी सीक्वेंस में लिख सकते हैं, राइट? है ना? तो ये हो गया हमारा. वेरी वेरी गुड. Now next is find the equation of the line passing through these 2 points. Again, note x1 is equal to minus 2, y1 is equal to 5, x2 is equal to 4, y2 is equal to 5. So what do we get? What do we get here? What do we get? We will end up getting 0 for y, right? Y minus y1 upon y1 minus y2 is equal to x minus x1 upon x1 minus x2. What does it mean? Does it mean this line doesn't exist? Does it mean this line doesn't exist? Looks like it. Looks like it because denominator 0 आ रहा है, तो line doesn't exist. Is this what happening here? ज्यादा ही खिचड़ पिचड़ लिख दिया मैंने, थोड़ा सा बाद में फिर ये नोट्स भी देखने हैं. Line doesn't exist? Is that the thing? Or is some other case? Batao. Very good. Very good. So how do we understand here? We understand that if we look at the slope is 5 minus 5 divided by whatever. But this is 0, right? Slope is 0. So when slope is 0, it means it is a sleeping line. This line is parallel to x-axis. What do we understand? This line is parallel to x-axis. है ना? ये हमारी ऐसी line. This line is parallel to x-axis. This line is such that x will end up taking multiple values. X can be minus 2, 4, all the values. But y will always be 8. but y will always be 5. So what is this line? This line is parallel to x-axis, right? And this line is का equation आएगा y is equal to 5. Y equals to 5 means this line is parallel to x-axis. Y will always be 5. This is 5 here. Y will always be 5 while x will be -1, -2, -3, -4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, any numbers. So this is how the equation comes. Next, find for this also. For this, what do you notice? X is equal to 3. X is equal to 3. X is 3 always. So then this means that this line is such that x is 3. So this line is parallel to y-axis. This line is parallel to y-axis. We'll call it x is equal to 3. This is the line ka equation. Okay, this is the equation of line. X is equal to 3. This is also the equation of line. Y is equal to 5. Right? So here we get introduced the concept of special lines. What are those special lines? Special lines are the lines that are parallel to either x-axis or to y-axis. When the line, this is your x and y-axis, and when the line is parallel to x-axis, its formula is y is equal to some constant b, some constant k, right? Some constant, this, whatever this value is, right? So every time you will have a line which is parallel to x-axis, your value of y will be constant. See, for this point also y is k only, for this point also y is k. Y will always be k, right? Similarly, when you have another type of special line, a line that is parallel to x-axis, a line that is parallel to, y-axis, the line that is parallel to y-axis here your x will be always some constant k, right? So the equation will be x is equal to c. See, look at here, at any point you take on this line, x is always that number k and y is changing, right? Y is changing there. So this is how we understand the special lines and their equations. Fair, give me a thumbs up if you have understood this part. We're almost towards the end of the chapter today. Right? Fair? Very good. Very good. Very good. So now we are moving to our second last concept, and that is relation between two lines. How do you find relation between two lines? What can be the relation between two lines? What all can happen between two lines? Tell me. What can be the relation between two lines? What comes to your mind? Yes. The lines can be perpendicular or parallel. The lines can be either perpendicular or parallel. What else can they be? What else can they be? So what all the lines can be? The lines can be either perpendicular, parallel, or they can be intersecting, right? Intersecting at some random angle, or they can be coincidental. Coincidental मतलब एक ही line है, for that matter. एक ही line, right? तो उसके लिए conditions होते हैं. Let us first look at parallel lines or perpendicular lines. Lines can be either parallel or perpendicular. So what is the condition? The condition for the lines to be parallel is that their slopes are same. Of course, how else will they be parallel? The slopes are same. Their slopes are same. Okay, so that is the condition for parallel lines. Or if there are two lines, if two lines are given to you, let me write it here. If there are two lines that are given to you, that first line is, let's say, a1x plus b1y plus c1 equals to 0. And the second line is a2x plus b2y plus c2 equals to 0. So these two lines will be called parallel if a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2, but not equal to c1 by c2. बेसिकली क्या है, a और b से क्या पता चलता है? स्लोप पता चलता है. तो वो स्लोप उनका सेम है, बट द पॉइंट एट विच c इंटरसेप्ट, द इंटरसेप्ट एट विच, जो इंटरसेप्ट है ना उसका, जहां पे वो y एक्सिस को इंटरसेप्ट कर रहा है, वो अलग अलग है ना? तो ये लाइंस ऐसे ही होगा ना कि यहाँ पे इंटरसेप्ट कर रहा है कि यहाँ पे इंटरसेप्ट कर रहा है. सो दैट इज डिफरेंट. दैट इज व्हाई c इज गिवन एज डिफरेंट. बट अदरवाइज ये रख ही देती हूँ ना, ये समझ रहा है ना तुमको? सो दैट इज व्हाई c विल बी जस्ट डिफरेंट, बाकी A and B are going to be same or in same ratio. ठीक है? And the second relation is between perpendicular lines. Lines are perpendicular if the multiplication of their slope. Perpendicular lines कैसे दिखती है? देखो, अगर एक लाइन ऐसी है, दूसरी लाइन ऐसी रहेगी, राइट? तो परपेंडिकुलर कब है? जब उन दोनों का मल्टीप्लिकेशन -1 है. ठीक है? If multiplication of slopes of two lines is equal to -1, then we call it perpendicular. ठीक है? और उसमें कंडीशन क्या होती है जनरल फॉर्म में कि इसका A1 A2 प्लस B1 B2 इक्वल्स टू 0 होता है. कहां से आया? कहां से आया? ये स्लोप की बात है ना. इसे तुम्हें याद है बेटा? लेट मी जस्ट गो बैक. सो डू यू रिमेंबर कि जनरल फॉर्म ऑफ इक्वेशन जब हमने लिखा था, यस, हमने स्लोप निकाला था. स्लोप वाज व्हाट? -a/b. स्लोप वाज व्हाट? -a/b. वही यहाँ पे डाला है बेटा. If slope is -a/b, so basically if you solve this, this becomes A1 A2 is equal to or instead of reverse calculating, let me calculate it like this. हमें ये पता है ना M1 M2, तो M1 कितना है? -a1/b1 और दिस इज -a2/b2 इज इक्वल टू -1. इसको सिंप्लीफाई करो, ये आ जाएगा, राइट? -a1 a2 इज इक्वल टू -b1 b2 ऐसे आएगा. -a1 a2 इज इक्वल टू -b1 b2. सो a1 a2 प्लस b1 b2, ये भी माइनस है ना, माइनस, ये माइनस माइनस प्लस हो गया. सो a1 a2 प्लस b1 b2 इक्वल्स टू 0. वो वहां से आया. ठीक है? बट दिस इज द इक्वेशन. ठीक है? वी हैव टू रिमेंबर कि here the slopes are equal, here multiplication of slopes is -1 and the relation between the coefficient of x and y is like this. ठीक है? fair? ये लिख लिया हमने. What is the other relation possible between these two lines? Same lines, a1x b1y plus c1 equals to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 equals to 0. These two lines can also be coincidental. Coincidental मतलब क्या होगा कि एक दूसरे पे कि मतलब इफ लिटरली द सेम लाइन, इक्वेशन अलग अलग दिख रहा है बट वो एक ही लाइन है, राइट? और इंटरसेक्टिंग, राइट? तो इसके लिए इक्वेशन ये होता है. ऑब्वियसली कोइंसिडेंटल लाइन का स्लोप तो सेम रहेगा ही, बट मोर लाइक a1/a2 इज इक्वल टू b1/b2 इज इक्वल टू c1/c2. सभी कुछ इक्वल होता है. ऑल द रेशियो इज सेम होती. ठीक है? एंड इंटरसेक्टिंग लाइन के लिए द थिंग इज दैट a1/a2 इज नॉट इक्वल टू b1/b2. मतलब इनका कोई एक दूसरे से रिलेशन नहीं है. बहुत ही अलग लाइन है. इनके ना स्लोप सेम है, ना स्लोप का मल्टीप्लिकेशन कुछ है, कुछ रिलेशन नहीं है इसमें. कोई भी दो रैंडम लाइन, और दुनिया की कोई भी दो रैंडम लाइन ले लो, वो एक दूसरे को इंटरसेक्ट करनी ही है एज लॉन्ग एज दे आर इन द सेम प्लेन. और हमारी सारी लाइंस एक्स वाई प्लेन में ही है, राइट? तो कोई भी रैंडम तो इधर एक ऐसे दो लाइन ले लेना. जैसे ये एक्स वाई प्लेन है तुम्हारा, उसमें ये एक लाइन लेगी, ये एक लाइन लेगी. ऐसा लग रहा है कहा उसकी आगे आगे जाएगी तो एक पॉइंट पे इंटरसेक्ट करेगी. सो इंटरसेक्टिंग लाइंस आर लिटरली एनी टू रैंडम लाइंस जिनका कोई एक दूसरे के साथ रिलेशन नहीं है. कोई रिलेशन नहीं है तो वो अपने अपने में एग्जिस्ट कर रही है. तो दे आर गोइंग टू बी, I switched to Hindi again, but I hope it was understandable. So this is when the lines are no relation between each other, so then they are intersecting. All right. So these are the relations that we have between lines, two lines. Right. All right. So basis that, let us solve this question. So is this line parallel to the other line given? Are these two lines parallel? Either we take the slope way or we be like a1/a2 is equal to b1/b2 and should not be equal to c1/c2. Is this true? Yes. So are they parallel? Yes. Fair? Okay. Next. Is the line this perpendicular to line this? है ना? X plus y minus 1 equals to 0 is perpendicular to x minus y plus 3 equals to 0. Is it? How do we find? Either we get the slope form. Either we find their slopes and be like multiplication is -1, or we be like, okay, a1, a2 plus b1, b2 is equal to 0. Yes, it is equal to 0. So yes, they are perpendicular to each other. Fair? Next. Find the equation of the line parallel to this and passing through this. Now do this. How will you do this question? How to approach? You are asked to find equation of a line. How all do you know how to find equation to line? You know slope-intercept form. You know slope point form. You know 2 points form. You know both intercepts form. So here, can you use slope point form? Yes. Here you realize this is y is equal to mx plus c. That helps me understand that m is equal to 2. So this tells me that the slope of my line also, the line that I need is also 2 because it is parallel, right? So now you can use slope point form. Slope point form, say you can find how y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. So this is the equation. You can simplify it the way you want. So it's 2x minus y is equal to 0. This is the equation of the line which is parallel. So this is 2x minus 2, no? Sorry. And then this is minus 1 is equal to 0. Fair? Alright? Cool. And now good. Now this one. Find the equation of the line perpendicular to this. Y is equal to half of x plus 4 and passing through the point. How do we do this again? Exactly. So we know that for perpendicular lines, the product has to be minus 1. I have to find my n2, which will be minus 2 basically. Right? Again, slope point form. Y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. Again, simplify this. Y minus b is equal to minus 2x plus 4. So 2x plus y minus 7 is equal to 0. Fair? Yes or no? Thumbs ups again. Because the lines are perpendicular, we found this and then yes, very good. Now, this question. Find the point of intersection between these two lines. You have to find, these are two random lines, they are intersecting. So at what point are these 2 points intersecting? What is the way to find this? The way to find it is to understand that whatever point these two are intersecting, that point belongs to this line as well as this line, right? So if this point belongs to both the lines, it means the value of x and y will satisfy both the equations. It means we can solve both the equations simultaneously. So you're just supposed to solve this simultaneously. This becomes 3x is equal to 9, so x is equal to 3, then y is equal to 4. So 3, 4 is the point where both the lines are intersecting. Very good. Now we come to the last concept of the class. Rather the most important one, because this also sets the context of what we are going to learn in the next part of coordinate geometry, and that would be a little more difficult questions, right? So here the question is, the segment is distance between a point and a line. You're supposed to find a distance between a point and a line. So let's say there's a point, there's a line, and there's a point. So whenever somebody asks you to find distance between point and line, that is also, you always take perpendicular distance. Otherwise, you'll be like, oh, should I calculate this distance? Should I calculate this distance? Should I calculate this distance? Right? Line is so infinite, right? So you always go on to find perpendicular line. Right? This is called the distance between any two things. Whenever you are asked to find distance between any two things, unless they are points, you always go the perpendicular route. Right? So here you are going to find the distance between point and line. How do you do that? You're supposed to find the perpendicular. Okay? So let's say this is the line which is a1x plus b1y, a1 क्यों लिख रही हूँ मैं? A की line है ना? So this is ax plus by plus c equals to 0. And this point that is given to you is x1 comma x2 or x1 comma y1. Right? So the point given to you is x1 comma y1. And if you find the distance of this point from this line, the formula is straightforward. The formula of finding this distance is equal to mod of ax1 plus by1 plus c. So basically in the equation of line, instead of x and instead of y, you inserted x1 and y1, the values of the points, and you took mod. Mod means you're going to take positive value because distance is positive always. So you're going to take the positive value of it and divide it by under root of a square plus b square. Okay, this is the formula of distance. Just memorize it. Okay, this is the formula of distance. Fair? Understood? What we're going to do is we're going to take mod of the same equation of line and we're just going to put x and y value, and this will be under root a square plus b square. So let us find the distance between a point and a line. Distance d is equal to mod of 3 into 2 because it is x plus 4 into y. And now 4y, y is 3 minus 10 divided by under root of a is what? 3 square plus 4 square. Right? This is how you're supposed to do it. This is 6 plus 12 minus 10, which is 8. Mod 8 divided by root 25, that is 5. This is 8 by 5. What is the distance? 8 by 5 units. 8 by 5 is 1.6 units. What is the distance between this point and this line? It's 8.8 by 5 units. Okay, so इस तरीके से we find the distance between a point and a line. Do memorize this formula. And at the same time, you have to find distance between two parallel lines. Of course, there can't be distance between any other two lines. If the lines are perpendicular, there is no distance between them. Right? It's like literally they are okay. Intersecting line, again, perpendicular line, intersecting line, one thing only. They cannot have distance between them. They are intersecting. There's zero distance. And if you say coincidental line, again, no distance between them. So distance can only be between two parallel lines. Right? They move at some constant distance. You're going to find parallel. Okay. So what are the two equations given to you? So first step will always be, because the ratios are going to be same. Like let's say if this question was given as 3x plus 8y plus 30 equals to 0. They could give this, right? Literally they have multiplied everything by 2. And we would know that 3 by 6 equals to 4 by 8. But it's not equal to 10 by 30. So we would know that this is a parallel line, right? So first we will strip it down and we'll bring all of these same, A and B same. And then we can apply this formula. So this formula goes as this: the distance between any two parallel lines is given as difference between C1 minus C2. Whatever the difference between these two divided by. Denominator is same. Right? So you first make the coefficients equal. And then C will of course be different. So this is where the formula will come. Alright? Oh. So we have to find between these two. So between these two, so we have to find distance between these two. That will be, what is C1 minus C2? It's 15 minus 10 divided by a square plus b square. Again, b square plus 4 square is 5 only. This is 25 by 5. That is 5 units. What is the distance between these two lines that is given? It's 5 units. So here we sort of finish the basic coverage of the chapter. We understood points. We understood distances. We understood a line, right? After this comes finding area of triangle, the orthocenter, circumcenter, incenter, and all of that. And also comes quadrilaterals, also comes circles that can be presented using this coordinate plane, the Cartesian plane. And each of them will have an equation to them, the formula of their area and other things, right? So that will be our motive. And we will be dealing with that in the next class.